Today we are going to discuss about leveling survey. So let's start our lecture number 3 first. Let's discuss what we are going to discuss in today's lecture. Basically, we are going to discuss the classification of direct leveling, right? So without wasting much time, let's start straight to our topic 1, which is classification of direct leveling. Again, direct leveling is classified into number of types, in which the first is the simple leveling, second is the differential leveling, third is the flying leveling, fourth is the profile leveling, fifth is the cross section leveling, sixth is the check leveling, and seventh is the reciprocal leveling. So now let us understand all one by one, right? So first is the simple leveling. Now the question is, what is simple leveling? So here on screen, this is the ground condition or the undulations, right? If I want to go for the simple leveling, first I have to mark my station points, station A and B. Now I put my instrument in such a way so that station A and station B are intervisible, right? Now here you can see from my dumpy level, I am taking my first reading and that is known as the H1. Likewise, from my dumpy level, I am taking the second reading to B, which is known as the H2. It means here it is used to determining the elevation difference of 2 points which are visible from a single position of instrument. It means I can say when these 2 points are intervisible, that at that time I can go for the simple leveling, as well as I can say whenever the change point are not there, that kind of leveling is known as the simple leveling to get the height difference between any 2 points. Here it is station A and station B, right? Again, it is determined by setting the leveling instrument midway between the points, because it is very easy to adjust in such a way so that all the points are visible or at equal distance, right? So that is known as the simple leveling. So here how you can get the level difference? By simply minusing H1 from H2. So here equation is something where the level difference between 2 points is equal to H2 minus H1, right? So this is all about simple leveling. Now let us understand the second term, differential leveling. So what is a differential leveling, or when we have to go for the differential leveling? So as I said, if 2 points are intervisible through one setup, then we go for the simple leveling. But every time it is not possible, because sometimes due to curvature of earth or due to ground condition, it means a hilly or a valley condition over there, it is not possible to see all the staff points or all the station point through one setup. At that time we go for the differential leveling. So here you can see the ground conditions are like this, right? And my station A and B are in such a way that it is very difficult to see both through one setup. So here I am setting up my instrument first and I am taking reading of A. It means my first reading, which is known as the BS. Then if I take the next reading, then that is known as the foresight. But as I tell you, foresight is the last reading for your setup, right? It means now you have to change your instrument. So that point is known as the change point, and then by shifting your instrument, whatever the first reading you take is known as the backside reading, right? Now whatever the next reading or the last reading you get from that setup is known as the foresight, right? Again here you can see we are not reaching to our point B. It means I have to further change my instrument. It means if I have shifted my instrument third time and I am taking the reading which is known as the BS, so that station is known as or act as change point 2. And now I finally got my last reading FS for my point B. So here you can see these all are the condition where the change point are there. It means whenever the change point are there, it is known as the differential leveling. So it is used when 2 points having large elevation difference are situated quite apart, right? At the same time, in the method, the level is set up at several suitable positions and staff readings are taken till the last point can be sighted, right? So this is all about differential leveling. Now the next topic is fly leveling. So what is fly leveling? So basically, to understand it, assume this is my practical site. It means these are the points where the starting point is P, then the ending point is S, where in between there are 2 points Q and R. Now if I want to start my practical, I have to connect to my benchmark. Now to connecting my benchmark, I have to make intermediate points like O1, O2 and O3. These are the points where I can set my instrument a dumpy level, right? So to better understand this, assume this is the condition over there and this is my instrument setup O1. And if I am connecting it to my benchmark, it means in backward direction, it is the first reading which is known as the BS, right? And now you can see in this figure that I am connecting to the midpoint. It means the next reading which is known as the FS. After that, I have to shift to the other side. It means I am shifting my instruments at O2. Again, I am taking the first reading which is known as the BS and the last reading which is known as the FS. It means my change point 1 and change point 2 are there, right? Now, if you see, I have to connect to my starting point P. It means this is my backward direction, that is to my change point 2. And lastly, I will discuss the point P which is getting me the reading as FS, right? So this is the procedure that I should follow to connect my benchmark to my starting point P. Then after I can do the further process of simple leveling or differential leveling, whatever is feasible according to the ground conditions, right? So this is all about fly leveling. So when the differential leveling is done in order to connect a benchmark to a starting point of the alignment of any project, it is called as the fly leveling. It is generally done for checking the accuracy of work, right? So the level should be midway of 2 points and distance are taken. So this is the procedure for fly leveling. Now let us understand the fourth one, which is a profile leveling. So generally this is the condition of a road when the center line, the dotted line indicates the alignment of any road. Now if I want to know the profile, it means the P and Q are the 2 points, and if I have to connect it by identifying different intermediate points, at that time I have to mark or find the distance between 2 points, or we can say the height difference between 2 points, right? So here the distance and the height difference are calculated by putting these 3 different setups. So from O1 I am trying to get the readings in terms of P, 1, 2 and 3 point, right? Here this is my BS and these 2 are IS and last is the FS. Likewise for O2, it means the second setup where the first reading is always BS, second is IS and last is FS. And lastly for O3, again the change point is there. It means the first reading is BS and last reading is FS. So here on screen you can see that it is not necessary that only one IS is there or only 2 IS is there. It is according to the situation, the ground situation. Here for setup 1 you can see 2 intermediate stations are there, but in O2 it means the second setup there is only 1, and in setup 3 there is no availability of intermediate station. So this is the actual practical condition of that ground, right? So I can say that it is the one type of differential leveling done for purpose of determining the elevation of ground surface along an alignment of road, canal and railways, right? So this is all about profile leveling. Again I can say it is a longitudinal leveling as I am taking the readings with respect to length of that road. So this is the longitudinal leveling, right? It is useful for finding the gradients and estimating the earthwork quantities, because when I have to provide the slope or provide the road construction at that time for calculating the earthwork, this is very important, which is known as the profile leveling. So this is all about profile leveling. Now let's move to the fifth one, which is cross section leveling. Now if you remember, in application we have discussed that there are 2 types of leveling. First is the longitudinal and second is the cross sectional. So what we have just discussed is all about longitudinal. Now let us discuss the cross section leveling. Again, here the road arrangement are in such a way that the dotted line shows the alignment of road. Now I have to take its cross section. It means a 90-degree to its alignment. So different points at perpendicular to the alignment, I have to mark its level difference. For that, here you can see the distance is something like this, and the spacing between 2 points is known as the S. So it is also one type of differential leveling used to determine the level difference of ground surface along the lines perpendicular to the alignment of proposed road, railway or canals, right? So here you can see when I have to provide the slope to the road surface for the better drainage condition at that time, I have to identify the level difference between these all points in terms of cross section, right? So this is used when the intervals are there for the cross section. So what are the intervals? So basically cross sections are taken at regular intervals such as 20 meter, 40 meter and 60 meter as per the width of road, right? Same way, this leveling is done simultaneously with the profile leveling so that we can actually get idea about the different points on particular that road, right? To provide slope as well as the length. So this is all about cross section leveling. Now let's understand the sixth one, check leveling. So what is check leveling? So generally here you can see on screen these are the points where P is the starting point and T is the ending point. It means Q, R and S are the intermediate points. Now if I want to check that all the readings are correct or not, for that I am taking one setup through which my first reading is known as the BS, and if required I change my setup and that changing setup is known as the FS. Simultaneously again at that changing point I am taking my first reading which is known as the BS, and likewise if I go to the next change point it means my FS, and from that again I go for the BS as well as my FS which connects to my point P, which is my starting point. It means I am doing a reverse process. Here you can see the starting point is P and ending point is T. But I am trying to go from my end point to start point just to check that whether these all readings are correct or not. So I can say it is done for the purpose of checking the elevations which have already been obtained, right? Now I can say check leveling is done from the last point to the starting station for checking the accuracy of base work, right? So this is all about check leveling. Now let us discuss the last point, reciprocal leveling in detail. Now to understand it, the first, this is the ground condition. It means now you can see it is not a flat surface first of all. At the same time, a river body is there. It means I cannot connect 2 points easily or I cannot compare 2 points. For that, I have to arrange my setup at point P, right? Whatever point P gives me the reading is known as the A1. Now, I am trying to look point Q where one person is holding a staff in his hand. From this setup, I am trying to get readings. But here you can see that line is collimation line. Again, this line is horizontal line and this line is the level line. Now you know all these lines, right? Horizontal line and level line. What is collimation line? So basically, it is a line through which a eyepiece object class and that line which continues to the object is passing is known as the collimation line. So that is known as the B1. And now here you can see the E. It means the total variation of these readings, right? So I can say delta H1 for this kind of height calculation is equal to B1 minus A1, right? For second setup, here you can see for station Q, what I do, now I am arranging my level, it means my dumpy level nearby station Q. And I am repeating the whole process. It means here I am taking the first reading which is known as B2. Likewise, at station P, I am taking the reading which is known as A1. Here you can see the line is collimation line, this is my horizontal line and this is my level line, right? It means this is my E, that variation. So if I have to calculate the height difference, I can say delta H2 is equal to A2 minus B2. Here I am doing simply one thing. At the one bank of river, I am setting up my instrument and trying to get reading for this end and the other end. Simultaneously, I am taking up my setup to other bank also. And I am trying to get the readings for this point as well as the far point. And by doing this process from both the ends, I am getting two delta H1 and H2 terms, right? So here I can say it is only used to determining the difference of elevation of 2 points which are situated on the opposite bank of the river, right? And if I want to calculate it, I can say in this leveling, the level is set up on the both the bank of the rivers or valley, and two set of staff readings are taken by holding the staffs on both the banks, right? Here you can see the calculation can be considered as delta H is equal to in bracket delta H1 plus H2 divided by 2. It means now you know the value of delta H1 and delta H2. It means B1 minus A1 as well as A2 minus B2, and by averaging this value you can get the answer of delta H. It means the height difference between 2 points. So this is all about the reciprocal leveling. Now you better understand that these all are the method or the classification of direct leveling which are available. According to the ground condition, you have to select which kind of method you go for. It means for fly leveling, simply we want to connect the benchmark. For differential leveling, when the change point are there. For simple leveling, if it means there is no need of change point. For profile leveling, it means in terms of length we are taking the points, and for cross sections we are taking perpendicular to that alignment, and for check leveling we are simply cross checking that readings are correct or not, and when the conditions are in such a way that we have to take readings from both the end of river, at that time we go for the reciprocal leveling. So this is all for today's lecture. See you soon in the next lecture.